Until then, I would like to announce our feature for tonight, Mr. Robert Zenz. We are very excited to have him. I saw him at the Slam on Rye and he was amazing, so I contacted him and asked him to do it tonight, and he is lovely, so he agreed. Alright, you guys, he's on his way up, so I'm gonna go sit down. Woo!
A backpack full of poems. Okay, so I still haven't exactly decided what I want to do for you guys tonight. Do some poems? I had this idea that I would come out initially, and I would do a really polished set of all of like the slam poems. But I had a lot of schoolwork to do, and there was also this thing that's kind of been eating at me for 3-ish or so months. Somebody who really helped me with poetry this summer informed me that when I get on a microphone, I have this tendency to use my really polished poems like armor in this way that I don't allow myself to be vulnerable with them. I come up here and I feel like they're polished, and so I don't really care if you don't like them. And when she told, I was not aware of this, and when she told me, I was shocked and appalled and sickened by myself, because that's kind of not what this whole thing is supposed to be about. So since that happened, I absolutely stopped reading poems in general. I stopped writing for a while, and I just recently decided that I wanted to get back into it, and I wanted to try a different tack. And so what I decided was that I was going to only read poems that were not necessarily as polished, or that I was so certain that if you didn't like them, it was your fault. So what that means now is that you might get a little bit poems that basically I feel like are not up necessarily to what I would want to share yet. They're recklessly unedited, and they are just very, very raw, and to me, I feel like that might be the way to get on a microphone and start this process of connecting with an audience again, is to do stuff that I'm not so certain of how it should be perceived, how I feel it should be perceived. So I'm at this impasse where I have some polished poems that I kind of would like to read, and I have like lots of brand new work, and I have real rare work, and I don't know what you guys want to hear.
Unpolished and raw.
Unpolished and raw, you said?
Yes.
Okay, alright, we're going to do the unpolished and raw then. Thank you so much for saying that. So that means they're all going to be read straight out of a backpack. But we'll probably have more fun this way. Okay, so I have like 10 of these. First we'll start with something that is not even technically a poem. It's a journal entry that I wrote when I was really missing my sister one day. I moved to Sacramento in January of this year, and 200 miles away from my family, and I had only been there a little while, and I was really missing home. And I moved in with my father, which is absolutely ridiculous. A mistake in retrospect, and so it was really sad one day, and I decided I was going to write about it. Day 26 is Brittany's birthday. I've been missing her a lot lately. They're just some moments, some things my father does or says that are so hilarious or outrageous or ridiculous, and no one but Brittany could fully grasp them, because no one lived through the war of him like we did. There's just something about siblings. about sharing a beginning, existing as different chunks of the same mountain, burning like twin fires from the same point of origin. The truth is, no matter how wonderful your childhood was, it's still something you survived. Sometimes just barely. There's something about surviving next to other people. Something about living through the same winters, the same hardships, about eating the same home-cooked meals and growing addicted to the same television shows. Something about finding the joy in the same unlikely places. There's something about watching life break someone's heart for the first time, one room away from where you sleep, knowing there is no shelter from this. If it came for them, come for you, knowing there's no shelter from it. There's something about memorizing the same stories differently, about keeping and discarding different pieces of the same past, about learning how to forget and what to remember in order to still yourself inside the maelstrom, in order to will yourself okay. Something about holding on and letting go of different parts of the same whole, about pulling different stitches from the same tapestry and stretching your stitch until you each have your own separate blankets. There's a closeness that grows when you slip and stumble together across the frozen lake of time like baby deer until finally, one by one, becoming sure-footed. I think of Brittany because I know that she's the only person in this world who sees the same man I see when I head out into the living room some Saturday morning and catch my father smiling ear to ear, shirt off and heading for the shower but distracted by the television. Playoff football. The camera zooms in on running back Marshawn Lynch, who's sitting on the sidelines, hanging his head dejectedly, and Pops begins delightedly berating the TV in a voice that could dry paint. Marshawn! He giggle boom barks, tickled as a child with a puppy. How does it feel to fumble, you rat fuck? Beast mode? Can you believe they call this fucking clown beast mode, Bobby? He just fumbled the ball with the game on the line. I love it. I love it. You couldn't script it any better. Go back to street ball, you fucking stupid-looking, dread-headed piece of shit. You're a disgrace. You're a disgrace to the National Football League. And then he continues zippity-doo-dawing his way into the bathroom. And I miss Brittany, because it's only Brittany who could possibly share this with me. It's only Brittany who could understand what these superficially hysterical moments actually feel like. Brittany who could taste the weird, complex, blended flavors of shame and love and guilt and weirdly even pride because we came from this. We grew from this. We are connected and that we are the only two people on this planet who forever have to sigh and frown and nod and roll their eyes and say, yeah, that's my dad. Let's do... Which one do we want to do first here? This one I wrote in a coffee shop while I had moved to Sacramento and was depressed because I didn't have any friends up there yet, and my father was a horrible man, as you guys might have imagined, and it was a really hard time for me, and I was sitting in a coffee shop, and I was fed up with life, and the barista, so sweet and cute, and I asked her if she would refill my lemonade, and she said no, and I flipped out. It was not even about her at all. Like, you know, she's just doing her job. But, and it wasn't about the lemonade either, but it was everything that had built to this point, and she was just someone that I took it out on. And it was this horrible thing that really stuck with me, so I wrote about it. It's called, What I've Too Long Carried Silently, or the real reason I screamed fuck at the pretty blonde barista who would not refill my lemonade for free. Car leaks oil. First week here, leaked oil in garage that isn't mine. Got yelled at. Same as you. Been parking in the driveway since. Yesterday, the bluest sky, the sweetest calm, the laziest of days. As peace had started softening my breath back into rhythm, as hope began to knead the tension from my shoulders, did I hear another hurricane. Another door slam orchestra. Surprise! My leaky car is still a leaky car, has dripped the blackest army into being, and it is marching, slowly colonizing Homeboy's driveway, thus, of course, will soon control the world. Its reach now spans a full 3 inches, from the northern tip of where is just beneath the rain gutter to its farthest southern point, a merely stretched index away from where the ants have set up shop around a stomped and sun-baked skittle. Clearly, we should all be worried sick. I am a 26-year-old man. I am living with a stranger named my father. He is less a human being than walking bullhorn. I'll say the next line when I turn the page. Picture a high school football coach with drill instructor power trip. Think desperate man who wants to be a father 18 years too late. I haven't met so many people yet. I just came up in January. Didn't have a choice. Last few years, I've thrown my options overboard like jetsam from a sinking ship. I miss my family. Right this second, I couldn't see my mother if I tried. She lives in Fresno. All my family, all my friends, they live in Fresno. From here inside this Starbucks, that's 180 miles. I can't walk. Today, I fed my last $2 to my starving gas tank just to be here. Look, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be a dick. I know that you get paid to smile. Make eye contact, take my money, pour my drink. I know you don't get paid to listen to this bullshit or to be my friend. I didn't lose my mind over some lemonade. I swear. It's just that you have got the kindest eyes of any stranger I have seen in months. Here's a kind of new and also kind of slammy, so this will be good maybe. Do you guys know who Angel Nafis is? Nobody. Go home and look her up. She's amazing. She'll blow your mind. She's on YouTube. She wrote a poem a while ago called Angel's Heart Clowns the Ocean, in which she uses this device known as persona to speak as her own heart, talking to the ocean, and basically talking about why it's more awesome than the ocean. It's great. And I watched this poem and it really changed my life, and she adopts this really distinctive voice in it, which is kind of like braggadocio a little bit, and when I watched it, I immediately knew at some point I wanted to try writing in this voice, but I didn't really have a vehicle for it yet. And last semester I took a psychology class, and I learned all about structures in the brain, and I learned about the memory, and the hippocampus, which is basically the structure in your brain of the memory. And I kind of, as I was learning about it, I kind of started thinking about this idea of memory and how it's very unheralded. We don't really think, it's something we take for granted an awful lot. When the more you learn about it, the more you realize it controls everything. It controls your whole life. And then I remembered this Angel Nafis voice, this poem in this voice, and I thought, what if we made the hippocampus talk about basically being underappreciated, and what it would say to the person, what your memory would say to you if it could talk. And so this poem is called The Hippocampus Demands His Shine, and it is absolutely 100% humbly after Angel Nafis. I ain't never been the worm inside the apple. What you know about a seahorse, homie? Not a damn thing. And we both know it. But what you know about not running into walls, though? You're welcome. Look, man, I just want my proper shine. That is what I deserve for how I guide you gentle, faithful, how I take you back to the correct vehicle each and every single time you park. I really don't think that's too much to ask. Consider how I bring the light to pattern like Apollo, translate a jungled chessboard to a twitch, an instinct. I spent years tattooing language to your tongue, and I can't get a thank you? Still, I am this loyalist of sentinels, this narrowest of doors. You know I keep the wild world at bay? You know that every moment gotta pass through me? This life, it holds its breath and tiptoes through my body like a metal detector. Every day, I stonewall a tsunami in your name. I defoam this rabid ocean's teeth till all that trickles is a tranquil stream of data. Who you think librarians this madness? Who boxes, shelves, and stocks this endless warehouse steady as a phone book? Who filters all the garbage and still won't let you forget your sister's birthday's shit? I can tell you who it ain't. That clown all pump and bloody as a shotgun, and he get a whole rib cage? He get pen and glory, and what's he ever done but ache, but long, but gush his slow and stupid gush for everything the same? What's he ever given you but pain? Who takes away the pain? I say the word and quiet every barking failure. I spent years tattooing language to your tongue, and that's from the other page. I set fire to the broken photo album labeled Love so you could breathe again. I quarantine the sunshine in her laugh. I shroud the trauma in a fog so dense it disappears. Who holds the key to every god you think you worship? Who goes on strike, obliterates your childhood, takes your mother with it? This one's new-ish, kind of like around the Steubenville rape trial. You guys remember that? A while ago. I was really perturbed by that whole thing, and by this incessant notion of the nice guy. And so I wrote this poem called Nice Guy, which is after Angel Nafis, after Terrence Hayes, who has a poem called Black Boy. And after him, John Zenz made a poem called White Boy. And after that, it just kind of took off, and people were doing Fat Girl, people were doing all kinds of things people did. Sad Girl, Sad Boy, Queer Boy, Jew Boy. Basically anything you could think of, people wrote. So I decided I wanted to do Nice Guys. So this is called Nice Guy. Nice guy, God's gift. Nice guy, always single, always flabbergasted. Nice guy smart. Nice guy funny. Nice guy handsome enough. Nice guy raised right. Loves his mother. Nice guy keep polite forever up his sleeve. Holds door like job description. Nice guy good heart. Big hands. Nice guy once told his kiss the gentlest electric chair. Nice guy pride himself on mad skills. Nice guy got degree in feelings. Keep chivalry choke chain to belt buckle ignorant. Nice guy lover, not fighter. Nice guy chicklet. Nice guy women's studies. Nice guy raise hand first day of history class. Say some shit like, you know, I'm really more concerned with her story. Nice guy try so hard, but stay confused. Nice guy keep condom in his wallet, been expired since 2002. Nice guy persistent. Nice guy want true love, but always friend-zoned. Nice guy heart so broken. Nice guy follow rules and hate himself. Nice guy broadcast lonely like a cancer diagnosis. Nice guy envy asshole, resent an asshole for his girlfriend. Nice guy thinks that every girl who loves an asshole is a moron. Nice guy thinks that every guy who isn't him's an asshole. Nice guy won't admit he thinks that every girl's a moron. Nice guy pours the rum. Nice guy pours and pours, smiles like a cyanide pill. There's more. Nice guy stay entitled, stay without perspective. Nice guy can't see past his hungry teeth. Nice guy missed the bus. Nice guy knows he's just too nice. Nice guy make a rape joke and laugh and then apologize. Nice guy hope that no one says a word. Nice guy strike out, blame pitcher, blame catcher, blame slutty girl distracting from the stands. Nice guy stay CNN best friend. Nice guy big jump shot. Nice guy, big scholarship. Nice guy, nice cross. Nice crown of thorns. Nice guy, Ted Bundy. Nice guy, Scott Peterson. Nice guy, Steubenville. Nice guy, God bless America. He goes too far and never worries about a thing. a brand new case. I gotta work. I also have some super, super rare work that I don't ever read that I'm gonna read to you guys, because let's do it. This is about my first girlfriend ever. I was 18 when we met. We moved in together at 19. We were engaged by 20. She slept with my best friend at 20, and it was over. And even though it was at the time it was such a traumatic thing, I can't ever not, at this point, I can't ever not think of her with reverence. And it's I don't know, that's just like some weird thing about life in general. Is that like, I mean, first love, there's this, no matter what happened, like I can't hate her. It's really weird. I could for a long while, but now I think about her and I just think like, man, we had some good times. And so this is kind of what that's about. I haven't read this poem in years. I don't know if it's any good. We're gonna see together. The expanding journey home. If home is where the heart is, then I'd like my ashes to be scattered across the caverns of the year 2005. For it was then I found forever in her lips and good intentions. I can explain. There's a part of me that hasn't aged a moment past the day she said that maybe God is just details. Back then, we were just half-finished equations, scrawled across each other's whiteboards, trying to fill them with the formulas that make holes out of two separate parts, but we weren't mathematicians yet. Hadn't seen enough seasons to know the world is always raining, even when it's not. Didn't know that life is mostly storm clouds waiting to explode and flood the gardens that you plant inside the moments that you think will last forever. That some forevers are not forever. That every single day, someone's forever falls like an anvil. Plans crumble like empires. Cheekbones collapse under the crushing weight of tears burdened with the iron hand of fate. We didn't know that shit. Didn't know you couldn't be prepared, and so our math looked more like art, like hope. It was, I love you, even though I don't know what that means or why I'm saying it. I love you. I'm gonna scribble it across your whiteboard and call it me. I love you. Let the words fill you up. This is me. This is us. God is just the details. Details like eventually she grew up. Left me in that place that held us, held our eyes, intently staring through each other like the world had stopped. The world is moving again. I know that now. Details like I still think of her every time I smell jasmine wafting through the springtime. Doesn't matter who I'm walking with, because even 4 years later, there's a part of me that still desperately searches skylines for a heart more taken with flight than the best ideas of me. Smelling smoke, I sense those charred intentions, old equations written on our whiteboards, wondering where exactly we got broken. We were dumb kids, I know that now. We wanted forever. Tried to create forever, built forever atop a rumbling fault line, and dared the world to break us. Harnessed the power to rattle heartstrings, and I swear, my whole ribcage still screams like a splintered violin every time I hear her name.
Damn.
Thank you. We'll read this one too. This is fun as well. This is about a different girl. Whatever. I wrote a whole chat book about girls. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. All good artists about girls. This one's called The Last Word. She gathered herself, and with eyes once stolen from the gods by Prometheus, she said to me, "When you smile at me like that, you know, as if you've won something, I get this urge to rip the mandible from your head, and as you sit there, shocked and bleeding like a 12-year-old girl, ask you how your new face has affected your pathetic need to get the last word." I had never felt more in love. With both hands, I grabbed her by the face, kissed her so deeply we ended up frozen in a clockmaker's attic at the center of the universe. After some time, when our eyelashes began to untangle, I felt her mouth curving against mine into a slow, wry smile, almost as if she thought she had won something.
Yeah.
We're we're gonna do one of the first slam poem things I ever read. It was fun. How are we doing on time? Do I still have time? What does that mean? What time do we have to be out of here?
When we're done.
Okay. Well, you guys doing okay? You want some more poems, or are you guys good?
Yep, no more.
Okay. Okay. This one's called Blue Tuesday. And it goes like this. It was a Tuesday, and I was on my lunch break. The sky was so blue that I remember thinking God must have been bored up there, because it looked like he was oil painting a mural across his sidewalks in colors that the skies had never seen before. Like he just decided to whip up something fresh, spur of the moment, like snap crackle pop creation while I was eating my sandwich. It was otherworldly, because this something new paint had activated a heartbeat behind my eyelids, and it was thumping, 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 and the colors were waterfalling their way through the Hard Rock windows above the broken nose, beneath the cowlicked hair, trembling them like the bass was too loud, but the bass was just right, shaking my pulse alive with colors so bright and vivid that I swear I could taste Skittles. I didn't want to blink. Couldn't help but feel like something might be happening here, like maybe I was alive for the first time in years, and maybe this moment was my sandcastle, just waiting to be sculpted. Because that sky was looking more and more like a coded message from an ancestor telling me spirits work like parachutes. They smile widest when you're falling, and you never really fall until after you jump with your eyes closed and your heart stretched across the length of that wizard's sleeve who holds yesterday's footprints and next year's alarm clocks and everything in between, singing prayers to every god whose name you ever learned, asking for the courage to open heart swallow as much of this world as you possibly can, like it will sprout you wings, to learn the language of the swan dive and speak it with a native tongue, to never stop dreaming in color. Because in this expanding universe, even midnight is outreaching for stars, and there are stars inside of my darkness to say that everyone who ever learned to swan dive had to belly flop first and swim back to the shallow end with their egos broken and their bellies bruising, and decide to try again, to grab life by the horn section and play it like Charlie Parker said, God is music. Most days I don't believe in God, but I swear the blue in that sky was holy. I swear that it meant something, because as I was walking back to my car, all heavy off Quiznos and Redemption, I saw her, Miss Black Eclipse Girl, sitting in the driver's seat, door wide open, crying like a desert rainstorm. Beautiful. And I knew that she was none of my business, but I wanted to say something. I wanted to say, Miss Black Eclipse Girl, I know that I don't know you, and most days I am an atheist, but today I believe that God is oil painting the sky in shades of redemption, and I'm trying to listen to the heart thump in the windows between my cowlicked hair and broken nose, and my lunch break is almost up, so consider this my purple-bellied swan dive. I can be late if you feel like talking. Our eyes connected for a split second, and she wiped away a tear as if to say, I'm fine, don't worry about it, go back to your life, pretend I was an Oldsmobile, a shopping cart, something random and meaningless, just please stop staring at me. And so I did. But it felt like failure. It felt like the gases of every missed opportunity that I've ever championed were all of a sudden expanding inside of my stomach like this. I can't remember it, and I can't turn the page because it's too cold. Were expanding inside of my skeleton like the yeast of bread I could have eaten but I never even baked. All the words I should have said and things I meant to be came rising angry through my stomach, cracking ribs, exploding me a coward. All the way back to that first time in second grade when Kimberly Hudson smiled politely at me and asked if I would kiss her. And I laughed because I was nervous. But she cried and never spoke to me again. So I drove back to work feeling like life is full of chances that we just don't take, and moments far too heavy to understand until they've been etched into the skin of history. When I got there, I looked up at the sky and noticed that it was ordinary once again. Okay, that's fine. I can read a couple more. I'm gonna read one more, and then we'll be good. Thank you guys so much. Actually, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do one polished poem for you guys because you guys have been so awesome. So we'll do like a. I read this poem at Illist last year. You guys know about Illist?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was in Illist last year and I read this poem. And I rocked it, honestly. I'm just kidding. Okay, we'll do this one. To the man who just won $30 million from the 7-Eleven across the street from my house. I know that it's irrational to hate you. To feel like you deserve your winnings less than someone else. Like me. Who doesn't even play the lottery. who on occasion laughs, calls men and women desperate dreamers, fools who stuff machines with dollar bills to purchase paper lightning rods and pray for rain. But as you know, in Fresno, hate is rampant. Here, we sprinkle hate atop our blueberry pancakes, pour like creamer into morning coffee. Here, we smile, call it breakfast. I can't deny a momentary twinge of anger, of depression, a sense of being owed and overlooked, a right eye's twitching in the frozen food section. I stood imagining the life that you fell into. Some opulent Italian villa off the coast of Naples, how it bursts with wine and sunlight, how the driveway is a racetrack twisted into figure 8 and it is your name on all the paperwork. You, who drew the royal flush, the slate wiped clean, who found the boarding pass to reinvention while the rest of us stay shackled to this gravity. We are the drowning in our sweat to pay the rent. The broken back which can't outrun the bills, the rise and grind with calloused fingers clawing towards your finish line. We are the plastic horses barely out-galloping ruin, the breathless, living paycheck to paycheck, scrambling inside this grand blue-collar carousel from which you've just sprung free. How delightful it must be to know that Lady Luck has written you a happy ending. Some of us would rather write our own, leave fingerprints upon these fires we were forged in. Some of us take pride in that our lives are more reflections of our choices than our lucky numbers, that we were not defined by happenstance. Some of us are builders of the how and why, tires of the knot that holds us steady as we scale the jagged path to spit shine. Maybe I have seen too many art films. Maybe I'm naive to want to rise from rubble more than wave a wand-like wallet as my problems disappear. But some can look at strife and see a springboard. Some would rather stitch a life together from the tattered scraps they earn than sit upon a bank account they didn't. Give me wealth like that. Fill my bookshelves with the grace of desolation angels dog-eared into origami swans that whisper, holy is the struggle. Tell me, Mr. Brand New Millionaire, what poor excuse for a failed novelist God do you believe in? Does he always rain down cash in buckets when he can't tie plot together? Maybe no one's ever told him. Some of us make saviors of ourselves. Thank you guys so much. That's my time. Thank you so much, Summer and Nate, and thank you everybody. I'm gonna get out of your way now.